Hello, this is the daily COVID update from Deccan Herald. I'm Suraksha.
I'm Akhil.
On the bulletin today, Karnataka reports 12 new cases of COVID-19. The Karnataka state government restarts trains for migrant workers. The state gears up to receive its first repatriation flight on May 8th, and Nitin joins us to take some fake news apart. But first, a look at the national numbers with Akhil.
As the number of positive cases continues to rise sharply every day, the centre has asked states to step up random testing among people suffering from severe acute respiratory illness in unaffected districts as part of ongoing surveillance. As we go into this recording, more than 38,000 people are active carriers of the virus. Just over 15,000 patients have recovered since they were first tested, and the country has registered 1,840 COVID-related deaths so far. More than 56,000 cases have been reported from the country since January this year. The Indian Council of Medical Research has tested more than 13 lakh samples for the virus from across the country. Meantime, Maharashtra has reported more than 1,000 new cases for the second consecutive day, and this gives it more than 14,000 active cases so far. Tamil Nadu has reported 580 new cases today. The number of active cases in the state now stands at 3,825. More than 1,000 of the cases are from the Coimbatore market complex. Meantime, up north, Rajasthan has 160 new cases and has more than 1,500 active cases. Rajasthan Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot has issued an order stating that all the interstate boundaries of the state will be sealed with immediate effect to prevent the entry of unauthorized people.
Karnataka has reported 12 new cases today. Till date, 705 cases have been reported in the state, out of which 308 are still active. 6 patients are in the ICU and 366 have been discharged so far. There has been 1 death in the state today and 30 overall. Out of 12 new cases in the state, 3 are from Davangere, 3 from Kalburgi and 3 are from Badami in Bagalkot. All the cases from Bagalkot are direct contacts of patient 607. The 3 cases from Kalburgi are direct contacts of patient 641 and 642. 2 cases from Davangere have exhibited influenza-like illness and 1 has SARI. The lone case from Hire Bagewadi in Belagavi is a direct contact of patient 364. Patient 701 from Bengaluru and patient 705 from Dharwad have both exhibited influenza-like illness. Patient 694, a 55-year-old woman from Davangere, passed away today. She had a history of hypertension and diabetes and was admitted with the complaint of SARI. Home Minister Basavaraj Bommai has said that Lockdown 3.0 need not continue beyond May 17th if people cooperate and make it a success. For the latest details on this, log on to deccanherald.com.
In some non-COVID news, a chemical leak identified as styrene from LG Polymers Limited near Vishakhapatnam early this morning has impacted 5 villages in a 5-kilometer radius, leaving 11 people dead. Many others are suffering from breathlessness and other problems. The director of the All India Institute of Medical Sciences, Rundeep Gulriya, has said that the gas is harmful to human beings but not exactly fatal. There is neither antidote nor definite medicine for reversing the effects of styrene, and the treatment mainly remains supportive. The effect of this leak on COVID-19 patients in the city remains to be seen. The gas leak has affected movement of trains from the Simachalam North Railway Station in Vizag, including at least 9 Shramik special trains. The station is close to the site of the leak. Moving on, the first 2 repatriation flights carrying Indian citizens stranded abroad are expected to land today. 1 flight from Abu Dhabi will land in Kochi and the other from Dubai is selected to arrive at Calicut. The Vande Bharat mission will see more than 14,000 Indians returning from 12 countries. Air India plans to operate 64 repatriation flights and will charge the passengers. Priority will be given to students and those who have had a death or a medical emergency in their families. Meanwhile, Bengaluru is gearing up to receive 650 passengers from Singapore, UK and the USA between May 8th and 13th. Suraksha has all the details regarding the protocols in place a little later in the bulletin. Moving on, a shocking video from Municipal Hospital in Mumbai, which shows dead bodies kept in COVID treatment wards along with those undergoing treatment, has gone viral. The video was shot recently at the Lokmanya Tilak Municipal General Hospital in Sion, one of the biggest civic hospitals of Mumbai. The Brihan Mumbai Municipal Corporation has said that it has set up a committee to verify the video. The dean of the hospital has said that in many cases relatives are not available and there has been a deliberate delay in accepting the bodies. Sources have pointed to the fact that mortuaries of civic hospitals are filled to capacity. In other news, the joint entrance examination advanced for admission to IITs will be conducted on August 23rd according to the HRD Ministry. Earlier this week, it was announced that the JEE mains would be held from July 18 to July 23rd.
In news from Karnataka, after facing flack for cancelling trains for migrant workers, The Karnataka government has written to 9 states including Bihar, Uttar Pradesh and Jharkhand seeking their coordination in receiving the labourers. The first train is likely to depart to Bihar on Friday afternoon. The trains, however, will not be enough to carry more than 2.3 lakh workers who have registered in the Seva Sindhu web portal seeking interstate transport services. Even the receiving states do not seem to be ready for the rush of workers. For instance, while Karnataka had planned to send 16 trains, 2 trains per day for 8 days to Bihar, officials from Bihar have agreed to receive 1 train per day. Karnataka has revised its standard operating procedure for receiving international passengers who will soon arrive on repatriation flights. The first group of passengers will arrive in the state on May 8th. The number of categories has been reduced to 2 from 3. Category A includes passengers symptomatic on arrival, and Category B includes passengers who are asymptomatic on arrival. As per the revised SOP, there will be 3 tests, one on arrival, second in the next 5 to 7 days, and the last on the 12th day. This will ensure a definite identification of positive cases even if they are asymptomatic and their subsequent treatment. The passenger will be released on the 7th day if tested negative, but they will have to be under strict home quarantine for another 7 days and they will be stamped. The asymptomatic Category B patients should report to the authorities for 14 days after their first 14-day quarantine period is over. This norm is in contradiction to the Ministry of Home Affairs SOP for international passengers. As per the MHA's SOP, the asymptomatic passengers will be under institutional quarantine for 14 days. If tested negative after 14 days, they will be allowed to go home and will undertake self-monitoring of their health for 14 more days. Bengaluru-based HCG Cancer Hospital has received permission to conduct clinical trials in humans for cytokine therapy for treating COVID-19 patients. The hospital completed studies in animals recently. Cytokines are a group of proteins secreted by cells of the immune system that act as chemical messengers or enable cell-to-cell communication. They stimulate the movement of cells towards sites of inflammation, infection and trauma. This work was started in the immunology lab at HCG Hospital to create a treatment for COVID-19 with assistance from Lancet Resource Center. The team working on this is the same team of doctors who have started phase 1 clinical trials in convalescent plasma therapy for COVID-19 patients. In this particular study, the doctors have made a concoction of cytokines from healthy donors which are known to be effective against COVID-19. Patients infected with SARS-CoV-2 are unable to produce them. The team hopes to create the first set of injections for phase 1 clinical trials soon.
Moving on. In our fake news segment today, Nitin looks at mischievous forwards on social media that have been going viral during the outbreak.
Islamophobic propaganda in times of the pandemic is peculiar to India. This image was posted on Facebook on April 30th. The post by Facebook user Vijay Ajay said that more than 700 men have gathered at a mosque during the lockdown in Tamil Nadu. The Facebook post also claimed that hundreds of men gathered at midnight for 2 days in Vellore district. Another Facebook page called the BJP Coimbatore Thondamathur Assembly posted this image with the same claim. But how were these gatherings allowed by the Tamil Nadu police during the lockdown? Alt News, a fact-checking platform, debunked the claim to be false and found that the image was from Uttar Pradesh, Prayagraj city. Alamy, a stock photo agency, had posted the same image on May 17, 2018. The Tirupattur district police has also dismissed the viral post, calling it fake news on their Twitter handle. The tweet said that an FIR has been filed against the miscreants. Mahesh Vikram Hegde, the founder of Postcard, shared 2 images recently. He claimed that they depict vegetable markets in Mizoram where vendors and customers are practicing social distancing. Shobha De, Danish Manzoor, retired Air Marshal Anil Chopra and author Shunali Shroff were among those who shared the images. Alt News has verified that the claim is false. The fact-checking platform has clarified that the images were from a hill station in Myanmar and not from Mizoram.
And before we go, senior JDS leader YSV Datta, popularly known as Datta Mestru, has started teaching on social media to help SSLC students awaiting exams amid the pandemic. On the first day alone, his classes attracted 4 lakh viewers with over 17,000 shares. The former MLA from Kadur started his career as a teacher in 1970. Some of his students include Karnataka Pradesh Congress Committee President D.K. Shivkumar and Food and Civil Supplies Minister K. Gopalaya. Based on feedback from students, Datta Mestru is also considering starting a YouTube channel in the coming months to reach out to more students. But for now, his focus is on the upcoming SSLC exam. That's all from Suraksha Me today. For the latest updates, log on to DeccanHerald.com. Stay safe, and we'll see you tomorrow.